What's going on, Seaport? It's Pac-Man Jones of Savannah Seaport News, and everybody has been talking about the July 5th shooting yet again, talking about all the crime and, just how the city can just improve from this situation. And I said this in my last video, which it kind of got me pissed off now, because in my last video I said, you can't really blame the parents. Sometimes you can defend them because a lot of parents are hardworking people. Not only that, but a lot of them are in their children's lives and they are aware of what they're doing. And there's some that aren't aware or just not fully understanding what they're involved in. So I seen a piece on WSAV about Gwendolyn Farrow, the mother of Spencer Stuckey, the guy that got killed inside the car on the July 5th shooting, after when they crashed their vehicle off Bay Street, and what she said about him being associated with O.T.M, Only the Mob, was
and Chambers a member of the gang Only the Mob. When I asked Stuckey's mom if he was a member, since she said he knew her son was friends with him, this was her response.
Only the Mob is a family, it's not a gang.
What is a family then?
A family.
So a community of people who do life together.
They do everything together. They got each other back. If something was to happen, maybe they'll go help each other out on something. He may need a ride, he may need money, he may need food, he may need clothes, where to sleep at. That's a family.
Now, Savannah Morning News has a Vox Populi that has basically is the opinion section of the newspaper, and they also had voiced their opinion about this. It doesn't say who was the person that wrote this in particular, but in quotations it says, parents of the City Market shooter should be arrested, indicted, and sued for allowing their 17-year-old son to run wild and kill people down at City Market. They need to pay the price for not maintaining responsibility for their son. Okay, people, I'm only going to say this one more time. We're not celebrating the 4th of July. We're celebrating the Declaration of Independence Day. Thank you very much and have a mighty fine day. To the person who wants to know why the city of Savannah doesn't keep the streets clean, I want to know why the residents don't learn not to throw their trash there in the first place. End quote. Now, just looking at that, I feel like her statement was ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean stupid, calm down. When I say ignorant, I just feel like she didn't really know, what she was trying to explain to basically the world. Because, when you think of the word mob, from my standpoint, you think about the mafia, you think about Italians, no offense, but that's what you think about, the mob, that's where that word originated at, really, over in Italy. So when you think about the words and how those words originated, when you think about the mob, you don't think about a good group of guys, let's just be honest. And also, I just feel like if I was her, I wouldn't have got on camera so fast and talked. If I just lost a son, I just want to grieve. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want any cameras. I just want to grieve. And I feel like maybe she didn't. I don't know. I don't want to say she didn't have her words together, but it just felt like that interview just felt really ignorant. And like I said, I'm not calling her stupid or anything, but it's just the fact that how don't you know that your son is involved with a group of guys that's called Only the Mob? That should be a red flag then and there by itself. Knowing that your son is in a group called Only the Mob. And I just felt like maybe she shouldn't have got on camera so fast. If you lose a son, just take time to grieve. You don't have to do that. Now, do I agree with what Savannah Morning News opinion section says? Absolutely not. No parent should be charged for what their children have done as far as being a crime. Not arrested, not indicted, not sued. What I will say is that, some of these parents need help too, just as much as their children. Because, a lot of these parents are really basically are single mothers, really. Most of them are. And, a lot of them do need help, and maybe they should have really edited that, made it just really say, these parents need help. Help them. I don't want nobody to be in the legal system if they don't have to, because we all know if you've been in the legal system in Chatham County, you know how much it sucks. So putting somebody in the legal system and they don't deserve it, I'm not a fan of it. But the parents need help. The parents need a whole lot of help. Just mainly just teaching these children and mentoring them and just really giving them a positive influence. Now, ever since the July 5th violence that we had, Savannah Chatham police have hired their first ever intelligence and counter-terrorism commander, Daniel Kellen. His main focus and mission here is to provide officers on the ground and the decision making on both the law enforcement and civilian side. Also, timely intelligence information possible so they can remain progressive and proactive in their duties. That's what Kellen said in the press conference on Tuesday. Now, also, the group's main goal is to provide information about short and long-term crime patterns and trends, and to assist in daily investigative efforts, according to the department's website. Now, Kellen previously worked as a counterterrorism specialist in the Delaware Valley Intelligence Center in Philadelphia. Before that, he served as a special operations forces in both the U.S. Army and the Marines. Also, what he said is what he brings to the department is a outside perspective. I think a lot of the principles of community intelligence and policing apply across the board in those various levels. There's even some tactics and strategies that can be implemented at the local level to help increase our ability to be aggressive and target whatever the local policing issue is. So this new guy, he's going to be in charge for a while for the counterterrorism intelligence operation. So a lot of the gang activity will be really highlighted, and not only that, but will really be investigated. So we'll see what comes of this in the near future.